Taylor Swift is obsessed with black women.
How luscious, do you know how luscious and juicy black woman coochie is?
Taylor Swift's new album sucks. No, it doesn't. You're just a hater.
Hi lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us, you guys are the real MVP. So lovelies, I came across these stitches on my For You, and I thought to share why women are actually crushing us to the fact that Taylor Swift is so obsessed with, black women. This is just all over my For You page. I think this is as a result of her new released album, which actually tells the real person that she is. Lovelies, I'm just going to roll the clip because this got the whole of the social platform reacting. Colored women actually have a lot to say about it, as well as black women. Lovelies, I'm just going to roll it. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video, and please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational information.
Taylor Swift is obsessed with black women. Let's talk about it. Taylor Swift is obsessed with the fact that several of her exes have moved on to date black women, and she perceives this kind of conquering of Travis as an end or disruption of this pattern, and she's boasting about it in this album. Let's start with Opalite, which is very clearly about Kayla Nicole, Travis Kelce's ex-boyfriend, whom he dated off and on from 2017 to 2022, and Kayla Nicole happens to be black. The lyrics in Opalite could actually not be clearly more like targeting Kayla Nicole, right? It references a video that went viral a couple times in which Travis is literally berating Kayla for being on her phone. Meanwhile, she is an influencer, so that is weirdo behavior because she was working and it's very controlling, but it is very clear nonetheless that that video is referenced in Opalite. The lyric reads, "You couldn't understand it, why you felt alone, you were in it for real, she was in her phone, and you were just a pose," right? Like, Taylor could not have been more obvious and less creative here. It's not enough to me that Taylor is using this crazy worldwide medium to best a woman that previously dated her ex. It's also the fact that Taylor is fully aware that Kayla has received relentless and racist harassment, oftentimes terrifying, from Swifties in reaction to the fact that she previously dated Travis. So this is purposefully and blatantly violent. This song accomplishes two things at once, right? It proves the fact that Taylor Swift is obsessed with black women, and it endangers Kayla Nicole. But obviously our country is not at its best with critical thinking, so let's analyze a different part of the song, right? So another lyric says, "But I'm not a bad bitch, and this ain't savage, but I'm never gonna let you down." So in this song, Taylor positions herself as this unique, singular white flower that is so different from what? Black culture. And once you step back and realize the song is final boss pick me ex racism, you realize that Taylor Swift is preoccupied with this obsession with black women, in part because Travis Kelce has predominantly dated black women in the past, and she wants to define herself as different from his past and therefore better. Again, very weird, very pick me behavior. Taylor's not only preoccupied with this idea that Travis has historically dated black women, it's also the reality that several of her exes have moved on from her to black women, and that confounds and ultimately enrages her, and she's so obsessed with the pattern and the idea that she had to talk about it in this album. Chris, give me examples. Okay, well, we have Harry Styles, who is now reportedly dating Zoe Kravitz. We have Tom Hiddleston, who has moved on to be engaged to and co-parent with a black woman whose name is Zawe Ashton. And then we have Calvin Harris, who went on to marry a black woman named Vic Hope. So it is a pattern, and Taylor Swift is clearly aware of it because she is obsessed with her exes, and all of that together is making me feel very, very strange. And ladies and gentlemen of the jury, today I'd argue that this idea, the idea that white men have historically left Taylor Swift for black women, is part of her personal mythos, right? I imagine she finds it both confounding and devastating that these men have left her, who is the pinnacle of Western white beauty, right? She is the ideal white woman. Meanwhile, all of these white guys are leaving her for black women, and I'm sure it's really pissing her off. So when Taylor secured Travis, she achieved the ultimate feat in her mind. She had convinced a white man to leave black women for her, and the mythos is complete. She has disrupted the pattern, she is the queen bee yet again, and this album is all about her obsession with that weird mythos and her obsession with black women. At the end of the day, you know and I know that Taylor Swift is a deeply calculated and intentional person, right? She drew up these lyrics and this 8th grade symbolism very intentionally. It's very red-pilled and incredibly macroaggressive. So I guess the moral of my story here is like, you Swifties, the ones who refuse to call her out on her bullshit are the same exact type of white feminist that she is. You protect bigots and you traffic in and like enjoy anti-black bullshit. And that makes you a bad person. All right, bye.
My hair is blonde, guess I'm your all-American girl. Ooh, her hair is dark, guess she's the cool girl that you want, yeah. Fuck me, fuck you, fuck we, I'm a princess in the morning, bad bitch afternoon.
Travis Kelce dating Taylor Swift after he has dated black women is the exact reason why people say who you date is a political choice. Because up until this point, Taylor has been positioned as this liberal white woman. She's, for the girls and for the people. And then now suddenly you're telling me that her new album and her lyrics are riddled with white conservative, low-key microaggression, low-key cis, because her man currently has an affinity for black women. And I want you guys to understand that this is rooted in the fact that white women are always, or perceived to always be, so centered. And so surely she has to be the choice, and surely she has to be the one that he's desiring. And so when you partner with a man when you are not his preference, the default thing that women do is, I'm going to disparage the woman that he likes, as opposed to being with someone who actually likes you, who you are the preference. This goes for all women, not just for black women, because we have that conversation a lot. Taylor, let's listen. The root of the issue is Taylor can't get over the fact that her man, her fiance, her boo, my man has a preference for black women. He has an affinity for black women, and she will never be that. And so because white women historically have always been centered, have always been the preference, have always been the standard of beauty, like she cannot function. It's like making her brain go haywire. You get what I'm saying? And this is why it's so important to partner with a man where you are the preference. Taylor, listen, come close. This is a conversation we have a lot over here. So what I want us to pay attention to is because prior to all of this, Taylor Swift was a liberal woman who liked country music and cats, apparently. Now suddenly you're saying that her lyrics are riddled with nationalist, conservative, trad wife lyrics? Since when? Now that she's partnered with this man, she can't fathom not being the preference, not being the first choice. Not only is she white and considered conventionally desirable, she's also very rich. But her man like them niggas. And so now the only thing that she can do is disparage the type of woman that he is actually attracted to, because her brain just can't compute. And a lot of women do this, not just white women. And I don't want to speak out of turn because clearly he loves her, she loves him and everything like this. But it's no secret. He probably like a little, chip on his dick. He like a little piece of chocolate. She will never be that. And so when we talk about these women who are liberals and feminists and mama girls girl, when she's an ally, we all know that you can't always go too deep. You can't always go too deep because sometimes, and especially when it's involving a man, especially when that woman somehow she feels like, has a leg up or something that she can't even control or change, you will quickly see how shit can get real. Okay? Because never in a million years did I ever think that we would hear the rebrand of Taylor Swift be associated with trad wife and trad life. And don't get me wrong, she's in love. She's going to do the marriage thing and she wants to cook and she wants to be married. That's fine. But the comparisons, sister Taylor, we're clocking everything. Taylor's one of those girls that when she get in front of a man, she get she acting funny. Don't be scared. Don't get shaky, Taylor.
Okay, so if a black woman or a person of color is telling you that something is racist, something is microaggressive, something is not sitting with them the right way, that is not the time for you as a white person to open your mouth and say, actually, no. Yes, I'm talking about Taylor Swift. I'm talking about the critiques surrounding Taylor Swift. I know we're tired. I know it's been talked about ad nauseum, but I do think this is really important and it's something that we should continue to talk about. So one side of the criticisms about this album are related to stylistic choice, vocals, musical composition, right? People can have their opinions on that. What I want to talk about is the critiques of the lyrics and specifically the way people are critiquing the racist and microaggressive undertones that are within the lyrics. And a large majority of the people calling that out and noticing that are black women and people of color. And I am seeing white women like myself commenting back on a lot of those critiques saying, but she didn't mean it in this way. And you're reaching and you're looking too far into it. And it's not racist. Like, how could she be racist when in her music video she surrounded herself with people of color, and she endorsed Kamala Harris for all of these people are making excuses like this for a person that they don't even know. It's so wild to me. When a Black person or a person of color says that something is racist, that is not when we go, hey, actually, no. We have to sit with that and reflect and go, why didn't I think of it that way? How can I do better in the future? How can I call this out? How can I, etc., etc. There is work that has to be done. If your first instinct, when a Black person or a person of color says something is racist, if your first instinct is to say actually or but, there is work that needs to be done. It's so disheartening to me to see people defend this album and defend a billionaire with their whole fucking life when there are so many other people that energy could go towards, particularly people of color. Like, people of color are being unalived. They are being abducted in the streets. They are abroad and domestically are experiencing violence on insane levels. And so many people have not had the energy or the intensity in speaking about those things. But when it comes to Taylor Swift, they are fighting for their lives in the comment section. We should be fighting for our lives in the comment section when it comes to trans people, violence against Black people, immigrant rights, Palestine. These are things we should be fighting for our lives for in the comment section. These are things we should be going out and protesting, rather than like going and defending a white billionaire who you've never met. Anyway, this is the last show I'm going to say on Taylor Swift because she doesn't deserve my time, energy, the space on my phone anymore, because it just makes me so fucking grossed out the way people are invalidating Black women when they say something is racist. It's so like, white women, we need to have a chat like us and stop relying on Black women to do all of this work and hold all of this burden for us to then go back and invalidate them. We have work to do.
Taylor Swift is obsessed with Black women just like the world is obsessed with Black women. Our intelligence, our resilience, our swag, our bodies, our culture. And to be a Black woman is to be gaslit every day, to be made to believe like they don't give a damn about us, when really they cannot stop giving a damn about us. That is why everything we do is policed and critiqued. We talk too loud. We're too angry. We wear too much makeup. We wear too much weave. We want to be seen. Just grooming ourselves makes us want attention. By simply grooming ourselves, everything we do is under a microscope, because they are obsessed with us, and they will gaslight us and try to make us believe that they really don't acknowledge our presence. But our presence is undeniable. To be a Black woman, you must know this. You got to know this because you got to keep on shining regardless of what these people are going to try to convince you of.
Taylor Swift has revealed herself to be resentful of Black women, or at least deeply insecure when it comes to comparing herself to Black women. In the song Opalite, Taylor is referencing Travis Kelce's ex-girlfriend, Kayla Nicole. The lyrics of Opalite include, "You were dancing through the lightning strikes, sleepless in the onyx night, but now the sky is opalite." So Taylor is not only using the lyrics in the song to talk about how she is so much better for Travis than his ex-girlfriend is, which is inconsiderate on its face. What did that lady ever do to you? But she is choosing to do that using the imagery of onyx, which is typically black, and opalite, which is typically white. Or in Eldest Daughter, Taylor says, "I'm not a bad bitch, and this isn't savage, but I'm never gonna let you down." The language of bad bitch and savage are primarily associated with Black women, at least in this context, especially Black women in hip-hop. Both make me think of Megan Thee Stallion immediately. And there were rumors that Travis was trying to holler at Megan back in 2023, shortly before Travis and Taylor started dating. So I read this lyric as, "Sorry, I'm not a hot, cool Black woman like he usually dates." Or in Wishlist, she says they want a fat ass and a baby face. Big booties are not unique to Black women, but if we're all being honest here about the associations of Black women's bodies over the last 400 years, big booties are and have been associated with Black women. Now, could I understand why Taylor might be insecure about this? Yeah, Knowing that thousands, if not millions of people are looking at your man's exes and then looking at you like, huh? Would make me insecure too. But to be even relatively conscious of the trope of white men dating black women until it's time to settle down and have white babies, or the trope of men dating black women until they get richer or more famous, or to know the way that Kayla Nicole has been dragged to hell and back because her high-profile ex, a white man, started a very public relationship with one of the biggest pop stars in the world, a white woman, and how many people hurled racist jokes at her and black women generally for it, to know all that and still dunk on her one more time to your millions of loyal fans, for this to come up on at least 3 different songs in one album, for her to play into harmful tropes that she has to be aware of, and for so many of Taylor's fans to not notice or just not care, this album is simply not for me. There is enough thinly veiled racial resentment in the world toward black women. I don't need it in my pop bops.
My friends are all haters. I'm doing favors, like repost their posts online, like I'm the bad bitch, I'm a dime. Just be yourself and be kind, like the kind bars from Trader Joe's. I like to go to bars, cause I'm a bad girl, yeah, rotten to the core. I am the ice queen, I'm a savage, with some dinner. I'm a bad bitch, trolling online. Keyboard warriors, send them in a battle. Hear my battle cry. You are my enemy. You're my fiend. We are no longer in a group chat. Bestie, wicked, like alphabet. But for me, you're not my hus. Feeling thick with 2 C's. Look at my ass, it's juicy.
Call up the bad guy. Tell him, move aside. A new girl has arrived. And I heard that she's crazy. Wait, who? They ask. It's me. I'm back. They want me to be bad. Well, be careful what you ask for, baby. I've got my sword. And I'm not afraid to use it.
I'm just gonna say that on the slightest off chance that none of that Taylor Swift stuff was meant to come off the way that it came off, why double down? Why dismiss all of the concern? Why double down? Because if none of that stuff was meant to be dog whistling, it sure as hell is now. Because if someone's walking around wearing that crazy looking necklace after all of this, there's something that they don't really care about, and that's called sociopathy.
Taylor Swift is the poster child of the MAGA trad wives because she sang one song about wanting to have children with her husband-to-be, Travis Kelce. But apparently, I'm not the only one who thinks that this album doesn't hold a candle to the albums of Taylor Swift era's past. Her own fan base is very, very upset with the Life of a Showgirl album, claiming that it is indeed trad wife, conservative, MAGA propaganda.
Taylor Swift is handing the conservative agenda on a silver platter to the masses. They want 3 dogs they call their kids, but I just want you. Have a couple kids, have the whole block looking like you. I want to have your white babies, and I actually want our entire neighborhood to be racially homogenous. She went through this entire thing with
Like seriously, love this. Over the past few years, Taylor Swift has undergone a massive transformation from the country sweetheart of the early 2000s to a powerful pop icon who now embraces a more diverse and inclusive brand image, right? But lately, some fans are noticing a trend that feels a bit performative. They are pointing out how Taylor has been aligning herself more closely with black women's style, energy, and even cultural artistic, but not necessarily giving proper credit or authentic engagement with the black community. Some people say it started around the Reputation and Love eras where, Taylor Swift began experimenting with bolder artistic, from curly hair and streetwear inspired fashion to more R&B infused models. At the time, fans noticed how her visual and even her attitude started echoing certain trends that were deeply rooted in Black culture. But more recently, it's not just the visual; it's the society, is the social energy too, right? For example, when Taylor started following interacting with popular female creators, dancers, and influencers, people began asking if she's genuinely inspired or simply adopting elements from a community that's always been trend and setting without trying or without really being a part of it. There's a fine line between influence and obsession, and the conversation around Taylor seems to be sitting right in the middle, right? The thing is that there is this argument that Taylor seems fascinated by how unapologetic, confident, and expressive Black women are, and maybe she's drawn to that. Black women have always been cultural, task makers in music, in fashion, slangs, and even internet trends. So it's not surprising that an artist like Taylor, who constantly reinvents herself, would be influenced by that energy. The question is, does she celebrate it or does she use it? It also worth mentioning how Taylor has collaborated more frequently with Black creative in her visuals, choreography, and tours, which some people see as a step, towards diversity, and others see as strategy branding. Because in today's world, inclusive sales and being seen as connected to Black culture can boost your image, especially when you are a white pop artist trying to stay relevant and modern. But here's where things get more complex. Some fans defend, Taylor Swift, saying she is simply involving learning and appreciating different forms of expression. They argue that she's not obsessed with Black women, she's inspired by them, and she's using her platform to highlight them in her work. For instance, some of her dancers and stylists are Black women, and she's publicly supported other Black female artists. Still, there's another side that says admiration without accountability can easily slip into exploitation, because when you profit from a culture or a community without standing up for it, it actually does not really matter. Standing up for it when it matters most, that's when it starts to look performative. So the question remains, is Taylor Swift growing fascinating with Black women's styles and presence rooted in genuine respect or marketing? Now let's talk about this recent, relationship fallout with her ex. And now the ex is going back dating Black women. This is when this lady who is all out supporting Black women, Black band, Black culture, Black everything, is now telling or showing the real person that she is. After she was have released a particular, song that defines the way at which she feels about Black people or Black women whom she's previously supported with her futures. Now so many people are beginning to see the little ray and seeds that she has inside of her. Now, if a pan-colored woman, like I think this almost happen all the time. Pan-colored or white or blonde white people are actually seen as a beauty standard, and when this beauty standard is actually deflating, I think that is when jealousy comes. That is when comparison comes. That is when, oh, I thought that I was actually the person, the one in the room did notice me. And now I think this is what Taylor Swift is really going through. I think this is what she's going through. She's now seeing that she is actually an option. Like the earth actually has option. Although according to what I've researched, according to some of the stitches that I've seen here, I think the ex actually probably have a thing with a Black woman. Like I think this is actually his preference. But then again, he needs to do what he has to do in order for him to blow up his career. And now I think that when his career is at its peak, he's not going back to what he has preferred. And now this lady right about now is not having it. She's not having it. And the internet is, oh my god, blowing up because of Taylor Swift. And the thing is that she doubled down, like, oh my god, anything, the reactions I'm getting is putting up money into me. Even though it's putting in money, it's getting into you, girl. It's getting into you, baby girl. Even if it's putting money on your table, but it's getting into you. Like, anyway, lovelies, when I saw this, I thought that I was just gonna put it up here. It's all sweetie, sweetie, blah 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 until when you are now an option. That's when you will see the real deal. Anyways, wanna just leave your thought in the comment section of what you think of this video, please. If you've not subscribed to this channel up to this extent, do your baby girl a huge favor to click on the subscription button, like, leave your thoughts, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one. Leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. So please share this video. Subscribe to this channel if you're yet to do that. Like, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.